What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. A lot of you guys have been wondering this whole Randy Moss thing. I told you guys more than likely he's going to be a 50 player. You guys are coming back to me saying, okay, so what's the big deal about the Madden Zero Chill promo? Like, what is the player? Why are we saving? What are we doing? You know, pretty much the honest answer to that is we're just being hopeful. Like I tell you guys all the time, I don't like to associate hope with anything Madden because it's just gonna, just gonna disappoint you. But pretty much what's happening is this, right? Regardless of whichever route you take, there's going to be some players that are going to probably play better and be actively better in different cases, depending on position. So what does that mean? We still have yet to see Charles Woodson, but we know he's coming. You got the free safety out of position, Calvin Johnson. There's a lot of things. The new Bo Jackson, Michael Vick. There's so many things that's going to happen. The problem is a lot of these players, when you think about the history of Madden, you think about the correlation between them being great and also the fact that, they have a lot to do with what Madden is. So many of those players I just named, Charles Woodson probably won't be a 50 player because I don't see how, like, he wasn't really a card that I remember being as impactful as other big names in the game. So when you think about it the way that it is, it's kind of weird. But as of right now, with the way that they're going to be releasing these players and stuff like that, and how, for the most part, how we're going to be able to react to the Zero Chill as being the #1 promo of the entire year, we have to wait, wait and see. But so some of you guys are like, yo, look, if that's the plan, what are we supposed to be doing right now? Because many of you guys have Calvin Johnson. Some of you guys are like, yo, this dude's raw. We're going to stay with him. Grab Randy Moss, put him on the other side. What is it to, what is there to save for? Okay, what are they going to do to make me want to go out there and get another card? Well, let's go ahead and talk about a few things, right? Obviously, the Reggie Bush is already there. I'm going to go based on a 49er theme team because many of us all are utilizing the 49er theme team. I got some guys that are Packer theme teams, waiting on that Charles Woodson. You're about to get Brett Favre. Well, not Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. You got some Raven theme teams waiting on, what's this guy, Ray Lewis. So it's a whole variety of players that are still getting upgrades and still getting updates right now. And some of you guys are wondering, like, should you stay put? Should you start to rebuild? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that's going to happen. The one thing that we know is definitely going to happen is that Randy Moss is going to be released this month. It's going to be, whether it's the Zero Chill, whatever it is, the 50, however it's going to be, like I said, I believe it'll be the 50. Randy Moss will be here before Christmas. That much we know. What does that mean for us? That means that we have to raid sell someone, right? Whether we raid sell Chad Johnson now or raid sell him later, it really won't matter as much because his price has already dropped tremendously. It won't really matter. Now look, this is the bigger situation that you guys have to understand. A lot of you guys are utilizing Tyreek Hill. And you guys are like, yo, bro, I'm going to have this guy, Tyreek and Randy, whatever. Just remember, I'm going to recommend to you guys, right? Try to get at least one player, whether it's a slot player like Brandon Ayuk, or if it's Chad Johnson that can get route technician for 2. Just make sure. The reason that I'm pointing that out is it's so important to have someone that can run a route on the dime. Now, we all know that Randy Moss is going to be a deep threat. The reason I keep reminding you guys about that is because for some reason, even if he does go ahead and become a 95 overall, which many of us think he will be, obviously with Aaron Rodgers being a 94, he would come to a 95. So many of us already assume he's obviously going to be a 95 as a 50 player. So he'll get route technician for 3. Let me explain to you guys how important 1 AP is because we don't even know what they're going to be doing as far as when they're going to raise the AP from 10 on, raise it to 20 from 10 on both offense and defense. So we don't know, when that's going to transpire. We have to figure out how can we maximize the amount of AP that we get right now. And I'm going to tell you again, guys, it's going to be very, very difficult if you start running around with that 1 extra AP and give that to Randy Moss from the get route technician. Not only that, you got to give him, you're going to have to give him deep out. He's going to need deep out. Pretty much if you give a guy like Randy Moss deep out, you're going to have the ability to Moss dudes regularly on a scheduled basis. So it's necessary for him to have that ability. And the reason that I keep pointing that out, like over and over again, I keep telling you guys, understand, archetypes are so important. So it's a chance that Chad Johnson might stay on the squad and we might just bench Ayuk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be like that because he runs his route so precise. And I know, dude, the 95 speed really hurts him because it's like, yo, if he was a little bit faster with these numbers, like, his numbers are outrageous, fam. The dude runs every route so crispy. It's wild. But again, like I'm saying, many of us right now, especially those of us that are, you know, starting to feel out the Moss action, we're just sitting patiently waiting for Randy Moss. That's what I'm doing. So if I had to tell you guys right now what I would be doing, this guy would be going into the slot. That's what he would be doing. And as a slot player, we know what's going to happen. We would probably have to end up taking off the route, the slot apprentice from Brandon Ayuk and giving it to him. Now, why is that important? Because he also gets that for 1. So that means we would have a slot player having 3 AP on him. We would have to go 3 for Randy Moss to get route tech if we, you know, if we wanted to use that too, which I don't think we need to do. I'm just giving you guys that whole situation because he's probably going to be 99 speed because everybody else, he has to be. DK Metcalf is a 96, Tyreek Hill's a 97. They got to give Randy Moss 99. They just have to give it to him. If they don't, it'll be the biggest L that ever happened in Madden. Because I'm going to tell you right now, with all these other players getting those high overall speeds, Randy Moss glided on the field. For those of us that were blessed to watch him actually play in real time, he looks like he was gliding. So if they don't give him, if he's not able to get 99 speed, I don't even know what we're going to be doing. Like, it's nothing to talk about. Like, something's wrong with whoever's doing whatever because it doesn't make any sense. So what I'm going to propose right now is this, right? When you're saying, what are we saving for? Number one, if he's a 50 player, it's going to be easier to get him. So we'll be able to go ahead and get him very, very cheap. We could use, you know, like the card sets and all that stuff to get the 83s, the 84s, whatever's going to go into a set for the 50 player. Because like I said, I'm assuming he has to be a 50 player. So the set will be there. After that, all the big names that you can think about, they've already given us so many. You know, Herschel Walker came out of nowhere. A lot of things are going on. There's always going to be a player that you should be saving for. Okay? But when it comes to Randy Moss, realistically, he's going to cost us 1 AP. Just to kind of give you guys insight for when we're getting rid of players, adding players, Randy Moss is going to cost us 1 AP. Why is he going to cost us 1 AP? Why are we not trying to put, you know, route technician or anything on him? Because he won't need it. Because whatever he does, he's probably going to get a very, very high deep route running. Obviously, we're not adding any deep route to him. So we're going to raise his medium route and his short route. And that absolutely affects the way he runs his deep routes. Because when I had Calvin as only a deep threat, the dude was garbage. Now, when he's play fake with the chemistry, with the scheme chems, he plays, he moves, he runs his post routes, he runs everything a lot better. So Randy Moss is going to cost us 1. I don't see a situation where I would ever want to waste 3 to give him route tech and not give him the deep out. Because the deep out is what's going to make him react and make him jump. So that's why that's on Calvin Johnson to help him go out there and Moss dudes. All the other upgrades, whether it's defensive, whatever it is, maybe they'll give us another Lawrence Taylor. Whatever it is, we are going to have to figure out ways to get them on our theme teams. That's what's the most important thing right now. We have 52. So we got 2 spots, bro, where we could take out a 49er and still keep that Niner chem and just be chilling, not having any issues at all. So if they give us a new LT, you know, the out of position free safety Calvin Johnson, that's something that like I told you guys before, the reasoning behind why I would save and just say, let's just hold some cash out in case they, you know, they bring him back around that time is simply because he would be our user. Not only that, he has crazy hit power. So if you guys run that 3-3-5 wide and you're shooting the gap and hit sticking people, you get now they've kind of tuned it. So you're getting a fumble, I would say maybe like 60-70% of the time where you just hit stick somebody in the backfield. So that's a huge factor and a great momentum shift for your, you know, your defense. So he's a guy I would absolutely keep my eye on to kind of watch what's going on. Julius Peppers, you know, would it be good to have him on the squad? Charles Woodson, would I replace Night Train with him? It's a high probability. Now look, remember, Night Train doesn't add any chems to us because it's not like how he was, you know, last year where he got, you know, I think he got all teams chems last year or whatever. It's just different, you know what I'm saying? Like he's the Harvest Master, all that stuff, right? Charles Woodson, although he's not a Niner and he's not going to have that hit power, he might be able to get crazy zone coverage and fit right into our scheme. So that'll be even a better puzzle piece for us, and we would be able to do a lot more with that. So don't think that just because Night Train causes fumbles, he gets big hit animations, all that stuff. Remember, he's not a Niner. So, you know, that's something else. Like, I'm just keeping you guys with that right mindset. We could get rid of him ASAP like Rocky. Like, no problem. Just be like, look, dude, you know, you used up your time. Thank you for helping us out. You're out of here. No problem. Sleep like a baby that same night. pick his moms up the same night as well. But if we can keep Night Train and, you know, look to get rid of Ronnie Lott, put DeCalvin at free safety there, stuff like that. And yes, you can have two of the same players on opposite sides of the ball. So you can have free safety Calvin and you can keep the wide receiver. Because I know some of you guys that are new are going to ask that question. Yes, you can have both of them. And that'll be huge for us in that situation. Middle linebacker is pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Mills is the GOAT. We got Patrick Willis. I'm chilling right there. No issues there. We are good to go. All right? So those are just some names. Charles Woodson, you know, obviously Randy Moss going to be there. You know, we got the free safety Megatron. You know, some of you guys talk about out of position Randy Moss. I think they gave him a decent man coverage because Michael Vick had an out of position cornerback card too, and they gave him high man coverage. Would I go with those gimmicks for my team for the right price and the right overall? Maybe. Because remember, you know, Zero Chill does all the out of position stuff, so there are going to be some high overalls that are out of position that we can utilize in the game. So those are some players that we could probably work with. I just wanted to make sure you guys understand the reason that I'm so confident that many of us are going to get Randy Moss is because he has to be a 50 player. There is no scenario. So some of you guys are saying, look, Gmia, we could always go a different route with that situation and use the sets over here to go ahead and create Randy, which is true. So you won't really have that big of a deal as far as putting them together because you can always go down here and you can put the 75, you know, the 75-9 gold, whatever the players are, into the sets to make the players. So it's going to be a lot easier. People can't overspend for it and do stuff like that because you can make it with stuff that's already in your binder that you grind for through the regular game, because many of us have a lot of nats and stuff that we've grinded for in the game. So that's what's going to pretty much open up the opportunity for all your other savings to get some other flashy players like the ones that I named, you know, out of position Calvin and all those guys. You also have like, what's that other dude, the D tackle from the Bucks, Vita Vea or whatever, running around at fullback, giving you better blocking. There's so many other things that are going to be going on, but I don't want you guys to get too lax just because I'm telling you that I think it's going to be a 50 player. They're going to give us some kind of crazy name that many of us are going to go after besides Randy Moss. And that's why we still need to save and be very, very cautious. But there's no real reason to rage sell your entire team right now because whatever you've lost, you're not going to lose that much more depending on how old the player is. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to go ahead and leave it right in the comment section. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.